You know, we've always heard it since the beginning of psychedelics. People say, oh, you're never going to be the same afterwards. And why is that? It's not some sort of thing that we need to be fearful about. We are experiencing realities that are so far from actuality that when we come into an introspective psychedelic experience, you realize that my reality is, well, not useful to me anymore. Because I see that actuality is like this. I see the introspection. I'm looking at my life and I realize, oh, it doesn't have to be like that. Oh, my reality doesn't have to be experienced in that way. And so reality is lost. Reality is redefined. Reality is changed. And then all of a sudden, you're a new person. You're a new experience of how you see an actuality. So people are never the same because their realities change. The actuality is the same. We all see the actuality. It's not like they're completely incoherent with what is around them, or it's not like some sort of devastating nature is going to come about you. It's just that we see a further experience of actuality that benefits us, and we change it. That is the dangerous thing about psychedelics to society. Society is a limited scope of actuality based upon a collective reality, something that we all agree upon. But it is not something that we really feel, is it? Are we really all happy within the society? Probably not. And so when we go about these psychedelic experiences, inevitably you have to find your own happiness in that experience, because if you don't, it's going to rip you apart. I mean, it's good that we kind of naturally find our own happiness, so you're probably not going to have a bad trip as long as you accept yourself. If you accept yourself, that's another thing. When you accept yourself during a psychedelic experience, you realize outside of the experience, oh, well, I'm just going to accept myself. I'm going to accept the authenticity that I want to be. I'm going to redefine my reality into something that I want to be, right? Because we realize, oh wow, we can actually be happy. Holy shit. Like, that's like, psychedelics, I think, blow people apart in that way, where they realize, like, wow, I can actually be happy. And things are actually pretty damn good right now in this piece of my life. I'm actually pretty happy in this little niche within the whole human collective experience. That is dangerous to society. And people do change. But it's not something that is devastating. It is not something to be afraid of. It is a natural evolutionary progression that occurs just by experiencing more of life. We all evolve, and our realities constantly are moving and changing and being malleable with other realities. It's a co-created experience. Life is. Mr. Yoda. Again, you go on an extreme adventure of traveling to beautiful places. Your reality is going to change. You're going to realize, wow, this world looks so different than what it was used to looking like. Oh my gosh. And your reality starts molding and being like, ooh, well, those are some old patterns that they're not useful to me anymore, right? A psychedelic experience is like going into the physicalized, traveled experience, but you're traveling through your soul. You're traveling through the completeness of yourself, and you're experiencing it in a more sensitive way. The emotion is experienced through touch or through sight or through sound, and you're aware of it. That's another thing about psychedelics, is you're aware of it. Two things that are very similar between weed and alcohol are that you get out-of-body experiences, but with weed, you're super freaking aware of it, and you're sensitive to it. On the other hand, on alcohol, you can be out of your body and you can be saying shit, and there might be a little voice in the back of your head that's saying, why the fuck am I saying this? But you don't have a sensational feeling about it. There's just a limited scope of communication going on. There's not that wholesome sense between this thing and that thing, a collective sensation. Realities are going to change, inevitably. A psychedelic experience is just an amplified, just very short experience in the relativistic life scheme of things. A very short experience that allows for a redefining of reality. It's not that crazy, I'm still rather normal after quite a bit of psychedelic experience, relatively speaking. So yeah, that's all, I guess. I got passionate.